Good day. I'm still on the spoken word and African poetry. I'm representing a contemporary griot, Anna, from the book I wrote, The Anthology of Thought. I'm going to read the second poetry there, then I'm going to discuss the theme, the subject matter, the poetic devices used, and other things in that poetry. I'm doing the oral rendition of African poetry. We no longer do this again in Africa. Now, in the anthology of thoughts that I wrote, the second poetry there is the price to pay. Now, I read, we are legally married to the head, but you keep divorcing us from her. Who is your father? You are like a mother. Who is your mother? You are immortal. You come in different ways, yet you have no legs. You cut people's journey on earth. We are now scared of death. Is death really the purpose of birth? Birth and death on earth. Why are you a frenemy? You are my enemy. The way you come, from where you come, and when you come, we can't predict your come. Tell us so we prepare for come. You take people like a bean swallowed by the invisible shark. You send us off our homes to pack. You take some in pretense. You suck bloods like vampires. You rule over everyone like a king of the empire. You have taken heroes and legends away to your way. Now tell me why you smile when others live in agony. You make mother, father, daughter, son live all lonely. How old are you? Where are you from? Who is older than you? Is your brother a ghost? Is your mother evil? Death is a killer. Death is heartless. You cause the ears to be on blacks. You take the gray away every day. People don't love you, but yet you keep coming closer. Your name sounds like noise to people. Your name makes the heart beat faster. This heart is your target later. If you were a king, there would be no queen. If you were a kingdom, your kingdom shall not come. The old still scared of you. You are known around the world. You are popular than a scapula. What a name greater than Mandela. Death don't sleep. Death don't have rest. Death don't sleep over. Death is a pest. It has no legs, but keeps moving. To and fro, it moves. You know all our names. You walk with time. Even the time is not working better than you. Morning, afternoon, night, Sundays to Saturdays, you are the 365, 366 days master. We all don't want you, but we must all meet you. We all don't know your home, but you give us our home. Is the death really resting in peace? We all waiting for you till it's our turn. Everybody would meet you. Now, the background of this poetry, I'll quickly discuss the background of this poetry. The title of the poetry is The Price to Pay. It is a price we all need to pay. There's no one that is not going to pay this price. And the price is death. Now, the background of the poem. The poem reflects on the inevitability of death and humanity complex relationship with it. It is a deep philosophical exploration of death's impact on life, showing fear, curiosity, and disdain. The poet used vivid imagery to personify death. I'm using what? A vivid imagery to personify what? Death. The impact of this death, personifying death, portraying it as a relentless and heartless entity. The poem also questions death's origin, motives, and nature, suggesting a universal struggle with mortality and unknown. So looking at the background of this poem, we would deduce that what? It is a deep philosophical exploration of death's impact on life, showing fear, curiosity, and disdain. Now, the type of poetry. The poem can be classified as a lyrical poetry. It expresses deep personal emotions and reflections about death in a mediate sorry the type of poetry that the price to pay falls under. The poetry can be classified as one, lyric poetry. It expresses deep personal emotions and reflections about death in a meditative, introspective tone. Elegiac poetry. It contains lamentations and mournful themes, often found in elegies that reflect on loss and mortality. 3. Didactic poetry. It seeks to convey a moral or philosophical truth about life, death, and human destiny. Now, I'm discussing the subject matter. The subject matter of the poem is death. Its inevitability, unpredictability, and profound effect on human life. The poet delves into how death, one, cuts life short unexpectedly, affects families and community, is feared yet unavoidable, rules over all living beings, and is universal. Death is universal. Now, looking at the literary techniques in the poem employs various literary techniques on enhancing on the poem employs various literary techniques to enhance its depth and emotional appeal. Firstly, personification, the use of personification in the price to pay. Death is portrayed as a being with human-like traits. You smile, you come in a different ways, you rule over everyone like a king of the empire. Another is alliteration. Alliteration in the price to pay. Repetition of consonant sound for reading, e.g., death don't sleep, death don't have rest. Next is rhetorical question used to provoke thought and reflect on certainty. E.g., who is your father, who is your mother, is being used in some stanzas of a poem. Metaphor. Death is compared to a vampire and a king of the empire, emphasizing its consuming and dominant nature. Another is what? Imagery. Vivid description creates mental picture, e.g., you take some life. The next is metaphor. Death is compared to a vampire and the king of the empire, emphasizing its consuming and dominant nature. Imagery. Vivid description creates mental pictures, e.g., you take some like a being swallowed by the invisible shark. Repetition. Repeated phrases like you are, death don't, and we all create emphasis and rhythmic effect. Symbolism. Death symbolizes the end of life and an inevitable transition that humans fear yet cannot escape. Contrast. The juxtaposition of life and death, that is the beginning and end. I like the tension between beginning and what? And end. Themes of the poem. Now, I'm going to discuss the theme of the poem, which is the final part of this oral rendition. The poem explores several significant themes. One, the inevitable of death. Yes, death is inevitable. Everybody still wants life. Death is an unavoided part of life, transcending time and space. We all know this. Fear of the unknown. Now, since we all know that death exists, nobody knows who is going next, and nobody knows when he is going. The poet captures humanity's fear and curiosity about death's origin and purpose. Another is mortality and human frailty. Death reminds us of our vulnerable and the transient nature of life. Human beings are born to what? To be frailty. So, it reminds us of all these things. Power and dominance of death. Giving future of what? Power to death. That is, death is powerful. Death's supremacy over life and time is portrayed as overwhelming and uncontested. Lastly, I know we can still have other themes from our instinct. Philosophical inquiry. The poem possesses existential questions about life's purpose and the meaning of what? Of death. Now we could see that what this poem is a poem that is going to what change our perspective about life, that is going to touch our instinct, that is going to make us to what think that what at the end of everything, death will still come. In every birthday, we also have a death day. Now, a scholar said, Martin Heidegger, that immediately you are born, you are old enough to die. So nobody know who is going next. Nobody know how he is going to die. Death is just a natural phenomenon in human life. Now, finally, the poem powerfully examines death's profound presence in human life, using rich imagery and rhetorical devices to evoke thought and emotion. It captures the universal struggle to comprehend and cope with mortality. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Freaky Fresh TV. Thank you once more. My name is Oyedele Adewale Olamide, popularly known as Freaky Fresh. Thank you.